Hey everybody, it's Rob the Cherry C Guns and Ammo, and today we're taking a look at my new hunting rig. This is a Ruger American Go Wild edition, which the Go Wild comes with the camo stock and the burnt bronze Cerakote. It also comes threaded 5/8 24 and comes with a muzzle brake on it, so it's a really nice setup. And this is chambered in 7mm PRC. They've just started releasing the Ruger Americans in the 7mm PRC. It's basically the only budget option for the 7mm PRC that I've seen, except for the Mossberg Patriot, which I have no interest in even testing. But I'm a big fan of the Ruger Americans. They all seem to shoot really well. So we're going to see how this one shoots today. And what I have it topped with is an Arken Optics EP5, and it's a 5-25 power scope with a 56mm objective and a 34mm tube, and it is a first focal plane scope. And I'll do a full review on this scope at a later time. But for now, we're going to get everything set up to shoot it at 100 yards. I will take you through my personal bore sighting process, and we'll see how this does at paper at 100 yards. We'll be right back. Alright, here on the bench, we're ready to do some bore sighting, and if you don't want to watch my process for bore sighting, I completely understand, and I will throw a time signature up here or over here to tell you what point we actually start shooting if you want to skip forward on that, because I completely understand. What we are shooting today, some Hornady Precision Hunter. This is a 175 grain 7mm bullet, and it's right at 3,000 feet per second. I would have got some of the Hornady match to test out as well. It's a 180 grain bullet, also rated at 3,000 feet per second, which that's pretty scorching for that big of a 7mm bullet. But I couldn't find any. So 7mm PRC is hard to find because it is a brand new caliber. But let's just go through my bore sighting process. And I do it by eye. I do it old school, because I never have to worry about having some type of tool to aid me in my bore sighting, and I'm able to rely on nothing but my eyeball. I don't have to worry about batteries, don't have to worry about remembering, which is my biggest concern. And I have a rather huge aversion to sticking anything down my barrel, because that's how most of them work. You stick them down the barrel. You don't have to bore sight like this, but this is how I do it. And literally you just find something that you can look at through your bore and get centered up on, and then you look through your crosshairs and make adjustments as necessary. And I have a pretty good history of getting things on paper the very first time through with this method. I usually make several adjustments, because as you're adjusting it, you are moving things around. Then I go back and recheck, recenter if I need to. And I think that is pretty good. That should have us on paper or pretty close. I am going to single feed these, so I'm just going to drop them into the action. Let me get my phone scope going here. You will see that I have two targets out there, and that's because we're setting up to do a couple different videos. A little out of focus. So we are using the target on the left. It's not perfectly in focus, but that's not bad. Alright, got our phone scope going. Let's drop around in and see what we can do at 100 yards. See if we're on paper at least. And let's go ahead and crank it up here. Give it, as Hootie Hoo says, give it all the zooms. And that is incredibly out of focus. That's because I don't have my parallax set right. There we go. Well, it makes a world of difference. All right. Try to make really good trigger presses here. And I'll tell you right now, that is not a bad recoil at all. And I will tell you, I do not see it on paper. I believe it is the one that is an inch off the left side of the paper. I believe. So this should tell us if that is the one, because this should get it on paper if it was. Yep, we have a hole in the paper. Now we need to come up. Oh, let's see. That should be getting it fairly close. For such a big, heavy hitting caliber, this thing sure doesn't recoil bad at all. I think between the stock and it's got a nice recoil pad and that muzzle brake, this is a very comfortable shooter. I believe I may have overshot that just a tad. Let's see. Okay, there we are. So now we're pretty good left and right. We're about 3 inches low of the target. I start catching these. I just lost the last brass down a hole in the middle of the thing here. Let's see where that puts us. As all Ruger Americans, the trigger on this is really nice. It's got a nice wall and then a nice crisp break, so that seems to work really well. Again, I'm very surprised at the lack of recoil I'm experiencing here. It's really, really quite comfortable to shoot. Alright, we're about 1.5 inches low. This should be right there in the money. Well, that ended up going just a touch high. Maybe overshot it just a little bit. Lost another brass down the hole, of course. All right. That one, elevation's about perfect, and we're about 3/4 of an inch right of the target. All right, we're going to stay on that same target, but we're going to switch to a dot. Because now that we're sighted in-ish, we're going to see what it does for a group. So we're going to go for that upper left-hand dot. It's upper, high and left of the center bullseye. And this is for group. So I'm not going to make any adjustment. If it's not dead on the dot, it doesn't matter. That's something we can adjust later on. I'm simply going to hold on the dot for every shot and just see what kind of group we're getting with this ammunition in this rifle. That's about an inch high, 1/2 inch left. That's about another inch left from the last shot. And I will tell you that I did not feel very good about that trigger pull. You know what? We're going to put a few in the magazine here. I'll feed a couple from the magazine. Oh, forgot I had ones in the mag. Well, that was a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 shot group, I believe. And while it's not phenomenal by any stretch of the imagination, these are literally the first shots out of this gun. It's been through no barrel break-in. I felt like the last couple towards the end maybe started to tighten up a little bit. And we'll try some different ammunition when I can find some more ammunition. I am also going to hand load for this rifle. Shoot this stuff up so I've got some brass for it. And I will do some hand loads. I'll try all different kinds of stuff. I'll try some really light stuff and make some real high, fast screaming bullets and different things. And then find what my preferred hunting load is. Let's go to the bottom left dot and do a quick 3-shot group. We're tending to pull pretty far left here. Holy cow. Oh, I was looking at one of the board sighting shots. That one's really left and really high. That's kind of interesting. And it could be just that the barrel's heating up. Well, as with all rifles, it takes time. You gotta do some load development, find out what it likes. Obviously, I have not gone through the proper barrel break-in procedure. I just came out here and started shooting it. I don't feel like it makes a really huge difference, especially when you're talking about a hunting rifle. You know, I can make some adjustments to the scope because it seemed to throw them high and left quite a bit, and I could get it to where I was closer on the bullseye, and it definitely is hunting accurate. Maybe not for super crazy long ranges, but at reasonable ranges, that is a hunting accurate rifle with that ammunition. But I like things that shoot really, really precise, so I'm definitely going to try some other stuff along with my hand loads and try to come up with something that's a really good shooter. Like I said, a big fan of the Ruger Americans. Typically, it's not that hard to find a load that it shoots really well. Some of this definitely could have been me. That one shot that dropped really low, that could have been a bad trigger pull on my part. I'm not saying that I'm above that in any way, shape, or form. But I think this is going to shape up to be a good rifle, and it's going to be great for packing, for elk and anything else that I want to. I mean, anything else I want to shoot at it. I'm really excited for this scope. I'm going to probably try a couple of these on a couple of different platforms. So far, I'm really liking it, and I will do a review on it. But the Arcon Optics, they're pretty high dollar value scopes for a pretty low dollar price. So it might be something to look into if you're looking to get some new optics. But that's just our initial shooting with the Ruger American 7mm PRC. We'll definitely do some more videos with it with some different stuff and keep you up to date with how the thing's shooting. Thank you very much for taking the time to watch. Make sure you're subscribed so when those other videos come out you have a chance to see them. And we'll see you on the next one. Have a good rest of your day, guys. Bye-bye.